The episode opens in the Aiel Waste, where Lan trains Rand in sword fighting while Moiraine and Egwene watch from a distance. Rand, despite his growing skills, struggles with understanding his place among the Aiel. He is Aieled by blood, but his upbringing in the Two Rivers has left him feeling disconnected from their culture. As they rest, Rand and Lan discuss Tam Althor, the man who raised him. Tam was both a blade master and a humble shepherd, and this contrast reflects the conflict within Rand himself. While he knows that he must go through the trial, Moiraine is not so sure about it yet. Her suspicions about his failure are made worse when the wise ones let slip that should a person fail the trial, they never come back. Back at the camp, Avienda warns Rand against using swords in Ruidian, reinforcing that the Aiel do not touch swords. This leads to a sparring match between Rand and Lan, with Rand eager to prove himself. However, when Avienda fights Rand, she quickly overpowers him, knocking him to the ground. This moment further emphasizes how different Rand's combat training is from that of the Aiel warriors. When Lan and Avienda spar, their fight is more evenly matched, but before a winner is determined, Melindra intervenes, reminding Avienda that she is destined to be a wise one, not a maiden of the spear. Avienda has spent her life running from her true purpose, but now she must face her fate. Reluctant to give up her weapons, she ran away in search of another purpose, but now that she has returned, she must answer the call. For her to take the next step in her journey, she, too, must go through the trial, and she ventures into the land the very night. Rand has chosen to embrace the Aiel prophecy rather than follow Moiraine's original plan of traveling to Tear to retrieve Calendar. Instead, he must prove himself through the trial of Ruidian. Moiraine is deeply uneasy about this, fearing that Rand is not prepared for what he will face. The wise ones warn her that those who fail the trial never return, making her even more concerned. That night, Avienda learns that she, too, must undergo a trial. Before she left the Aiel Waste, she had been chosen to become a wise one, but she ran away, unwilling to abandon her weapons. Now that she has returned, she must face her destiny. The next morning, Rand, Moiraine, Lan, and Egwene are taken to the edge of Ruidian, a fog-covered city hidden deep within the waste. Only those who receive permission from the wise ones can enter. Another Aiel warrior is already inside undergoing his own trial, and his people are prepared to send another if he fails. Rand immediately asks for permission and is granted entry. Those who survive Ruidian are marked with a dragon because the Aiel are the people of the dragon, but there is always one mark on the left arm. However, the prophecy says that the Karn will be marked twice so the Aiel can identify him. As you can imagine, there is some protest to let Rand go through, since he is not truly Aiel, even if his blood says otherwise. But the wise one handles it. Moiraine, despite her doubts, also asks for permission. She realizes that she can no longer control Rand's choices, but she refuses to let him face this alone. The wise ones, who expected this, grant her permission. Before entering, they are warned that Rand will experience visions of the past, stepping into the lives of his ancestors to truly understand his people's history, while Moiraine will see glimpses of possible futures, helping her grasp the consequences of their actions. Before they cross the boundary into the city in the clouds, they are told what it will be like for each of them. For Moiraine, the trial is about looking into the future, with its myriad possibilities, to understand what direction the present will take. For Rand, every step that he takes will lead him into a previous life, connecting him to his ancestors, so it is through his past that he can truly understand who he is. Any man who survives the trial gets a mark of the dragon on their right hand. However, in the case of the Karn, the mark would appear on both hands, and that's how his identity will be confirmed. As Rand and Moiraine enter the mist-shrouded city, they come across Avendezra, the Tree of Life, an ancient tree that has existed for over 3,000 years. Moiraine explains that a sapling of Avendezra was once gifted to Carrion as a sign of peace, but when her uncle became king, he cut it down to craft a unique throne. This act of betrayal enraged the Aiel, sparking the Aiel War, in which the Aiel crossed the spine of the world and waged war against Carrion. Eventually, they killed Moiraine's uncle at Dragonmount, fulfilling their revenge. Rand realizes that this war is the reason his mother was at Dragonmount when she gave birth to him, meaning that his entire existence was shaped by events set into motion long before he was born. Rand steps forward into the glass columns, which transport him into visions of his ancestors. Rand walks away from Moiraine and heads toward the glass forest. As he steps into the area, an unusual sensation washes over him. Suddenly, he finds himself transported into the past, now experiencing life as Janduin, his own father during the war. Janduin, a tribal chief of the Aiel, stands in battle with blood on his hands and a spear in his grip. Amid the aftermath, he discovers his wife Rand's mother lying dead in the snow, with no child in sight. It was Janduin who once killed Moiraine's uncle and secured victory in the war long ago, weaving their fates even tighter together. With the next step, Rand transforms into Mandian, the chief of a partially built Ruidian. He converses with his wife, expressing agreement with the Aes Sedai. Other chiefs join them inside Ruidian, where an elderly Aes Sedai named Latra reveals the prophecy. She tells the chiefs that they must undergo the same trial Rand now faces, but only one among them will survive to guide the Aiel on the correct path. A few more steps transport Rand into the life of Luwin, grandson of Adon. In this era, the Aiel live in wagons, and the Tree of Life exists only as a small sapling in a pot. Luwin and his two friends discover that his sister and another girl have been captured by bandits. Bound by an oath of nonviolence, they attempt to rescue the girls. However, in the struggle, Luwin kills one of the bandits who had slain his friend. As a result, he and the surviving boy are cast out from the tribe, even abandoned by their own families. Despite the rejection, Luwin resolves that if the Aiel refuse to fight, then he must protect them from external threats. This moment marks the beginning of a division within the Aiel, those who follow the way of the spear, born from Luwin's use of a spear to take a life. Next, Rand becomes an ancestor of Adon and Jonai. The Aiel wagons lie in ruins, and Aiden's parents appear to have perished. While Jonai departs with part of the tribe, Adon chooses to stay with his grandfather, refusing to break his oath. Together, they bury Aiden's mother, who had foreseen the city of Ruidian in a vision. Rand then finds himself standing with Latra Sedai during the Age of Legends. He tells her the wagons are prepared, each carrying a fragment of the Tree of Life for protection. Latra responds that she has something else for him, but another Aes Sedai warns against it. Latra reminds her that the Aiel have demonstrated great courage through their peaceful ways and assures her that the item will be safe with them. However, she also points out that Lanfear allied with the Dark One, making it too dangerous to entrust the object to the Aes Sedai. In her hands, she holds the most powerful Esangriel in existence, the same one Lanfear once told Rand about and, seemingly, the same one Moiraine has just stolen. Latra urges the Aiel to remain faithful to the Way of the Leaf, and as the man who resembles Rand grips the Esangriel, he takes an oath upon it. Finally, Rand finds himself inside a massive, futuristic-looking sphere, where he encounters Mirian Sedai, later known as Lanfear. She asks him if he belongs to the place they are observing, a field where the Aiel, though they may not yet bear that name, sing as they work. He inquires about their discovery, though it may not be his place to ask. Lanfear explains that they have found the weakest point in the pattern, a gateway that will allow them to see beyond. She believes it holds the secret to immense power, something that could bring prosperity and convenience to the world. Then, she sends Rand's ancestor into the field, instructing him to join his family in song. As he obeys, the sphere above them shatters, causing a rift to tear open in the sky. This moment marks Lanfear's fateful act, unleashing the Dark One into the world. The wheat farmer, standing amidst the chaos, finally comprehends what she has done. Rand awakens, lying unconscious on the ground in Ruidian. His vision of the past has ended, and his trial is complete. The two markings of the dragon now blaze upon his arms, confirming him as the Kari Karn. Meanwhile, Moiraine taps into her power, retrieving a small white sphere from within Avendezera. She secures it in her bag before moving on, only to find Avienda suspended midair within a set of rings, screaming in slow motion. As Moiraine steps forward, she is pulled into the same phenomenon. She experiences visions of the future, caught in an endless cycle of possibilities, never revealing a definite outcome. In one vision, she is a queen, punishing Rand, who pleads with her not to make a mistake only for her to slit his throat. In another, she severs her bond with Lon and instead bonds with Rand. She watches Lon perish in flames, showing no remorse. Then, she cradles a lifeless Rand in her arms. In the next set of visions, Moiraine is alone while everyone is against her. She watches her own throat get slit by Lanfear multiple times in different locations. She sees herself sleeping with Rand, who then becomes Lanfear, who starts choking her. In every future, Lanfear appears and kills Moiraine, confirming that she is destined to die at Lanfear's hands unless she finds a way to change her fate. On the other hand, Egwene and Lon discuss how it's been 7 days and Avienda came out on day 5. Egwene thinks they should go in after them, but Lon reminds her that they want them to stay. Egwene is simply too young to understand how important it is to follow the rules here. If she had ended up going inside, she'd probably have ended up dying. Rand finds Avienda, and he apologizes for not understanding about the swords. She's annoyed that he thinks he understands now, but he tells her that that is not the case. He's seen why the Aiel believe so much in the way of the leaf and why non-violence has been so important to them. Rand may never truly be Aiel. Avienda leaves because Rand says he won't leave Moiraine behind. At the end of the Wheel of Time episode 4, Rand returns with Moiraine in his arms. She looks nearly dead, but they're both alive and returned from Ruidian. Rand gives Moiraine to Lon, and Egwene hugs him in relief. The episode concludes with the group preparing for the next stage of their journey, as the stakes grow higher than ever before. This episode is a pivotal moment in Rand's journey, solidifying his place as the Kare Karn and providing deep insight into the history of the Aiel. Moiraine's visions leave lingering questions about her fate and the role she will play moving forward. With Rand's transformation complete, the next steps in his path are bound to be even more dangerous. So Wheel of Time returns with a ton of visions from Rand's past, showing a lot of his ancestry and how everything has been building up to his return as the Dragon Reborn. It works reasonably well to flesh out the past, although the episode is not without its issues. Final thoughts. Episode 4 of the Wheel of Time Season 3 is an absolute feast for devoted book readers and lore enthusiasts alike. It takes a bold and immersive dive into the mythology of Robert Jordan's world, revealing key details about Rand al'Thor's heritage, Moiraine Damodred's fate, and the future of the Aiel. This episode stands out as a crucial turning point in the season, seamlessly blending powerful character development with the deep-rooted prophecies and histories that shape the world of the Wheel. From the very start, the episode sets itself apart with its breathtaking portrayal of Ruidian, the hidden city at the heart of Aiel prophecy. Rand's journey through the rings of Ruidian is not only visually stunning but also emotionally charged. Meanwhile, Moiraine's own trial within the rings offers an intense and thought-provoking counterpoint to Rand's experience. The performances in this episode are truly commendable. Rosamund Pike delivers yet another masterful portrayal of Moiraine, capturing both her unwavering strength and the inner turmoil that threatens to consume her. Jascha Stradowski, as Rand, showcases remarkable growth, bringing a layered performance that reflects Rand's increasing awareness of his role as the Dragon Reborn. The emotional intensity of their respective journeys, paired with the weight of the revelations they uncover, makes this one of the most powerful episodes of the season so far. The episode's thematic focus on destiny, sacrifice, and leadership is deeply interwoven into the narrative, reinforcing the Wheel of Time's central motifs. Rand's visions highlight the brutal history of the Aiel and the painful choices that shaped them, underscoring the cyclical nature of history and the burdens that come with power. Moiraine's journey through the rings serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of the future, reinforcing the idea that even the most well-laid plans can lead to devastating consequences. The juxtaposition of past and future in this episode brilliantly illustrates the weight of fate pressing down on our protagonists. Additionally, while the series boasts an impressive budget, certain CGI elements fall short of expectations. One particularly noticeable moment is the poorly rendered horse and carriage, leaving the arena a minor detail in the grand scheme of things, but one that stands out given Amazon's vast resources. The show has generally excelled in its visual presentation, making moments like these all the more frustrating when they break immersion. Another ongoing issue that persists throughout the series is the apparent reluctance to fully embrace Rand as the main protagonist. While the books dedicate a significant portion of the narrative to Rand's point of view, the show has often sidestepped this, opting instead to focus on other characters. This episode is a rare exception, giving Rand the spotlight he deserves, but it highlights how infrequent these moments have been across the series. Given his pivotal role in the overall story, the show would benefit from placing greater emphasis on his development moving forward. That being said, Episode 4 does a commendable job of establishing the stakes, fleshing out the past, and setting up intriguing possibilities for what lies ahead. The blend of rich lore, emotional depth, and high-stakes storytelling makes it a rewarding experience for longtime fans of the series. While casual viewers may find the heavy focus on prophecy and historical context overwhelming, those deeply invested in the Wheel of Time's intricate world will find this episode to be an absolute triumph. As the season progresses, it remains to be seen how these revelations will shape the path forward. With Rand now fully stepping into his role as the Kare Karn and Moiraine grappling with the weight of her visions, the road ahead promises to be both treacherous and exhilarating. If the series can maintain this level of storytelling while addressing its pacing and character focus issues, the Wheel of Time has the potential to deliver a truly unforgettable season.